How are you doing? Has it been a while? You missed me. Okay, so good evening. This is Ifunanya, founder, consultant in Almond Brand, and today is a special live session. Yes, it's a book reading of my fourth book. The Almond Violent Roses. Yes, the book reading of the Violent Roses. So who's excited? I definitely am. So tell your friends that we come live, and I can't wait for you to see what's inside the book. Yeah. Jericho, the gospel goes, the gospel goes. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. There is joy in the city. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Good news to the nations. Valentine's is a good news, you guys. And the power of the Holy God. This is how we win. Oh, bring down the walls of Jericho. Everywhere we go, the gospel goes. Everywhere we go, the gospel goes. This is how we win. Oh, I'm just telling you before others join. Everywhere we go, the gospel goes. Everywhere we go. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. By the power of the Holy, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Good news to the nations, hallelujah. We got the power of the Holy God. Okay, so I don't keep you guys waiting. So Violent Roses. Let me introduce you all to the Violent Roses. So this is my fourth book. I've written 4 books. The first book I wrote was Standing Tall Against Rivals. Unmasked, still fiction. Standing Tall Against Rivals was fiction. Unmasked was fiction. So Unmasked, Standing Tall Against Rivals it's a warfare book. Yeah, in fiction form. Then Unmasked was on mental health and some other things involved in the spiritual realm. My third book, who can guess? Okay, Building a Strong Foundation. From the title, you can tell what it's all about, right? So, and this is my fourth baby, God's masterpiece, you guys. So it's fiction. It's about toxic relationship, but it was better at the time that I did not believe that it could be bettered. I just know that I had this idea in my head that I wanted the world to know what was going on, what was going wrong in the family sector, and God gave me this masterpiece. So while we're unveiling it, you guys, okay? You like on it unveiled? Anyway, for my audience, you guys, let's just see this baby. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, Violent Roses. So I'll just be starting with the forward by my mentor, Mrs. Omomi Oluwabinika. Very special woman to me. She's such a blessing, you guys. Okay, so I had the privilege of her writing the forward for this book, Violent Roses. So, yeah. And don't worry, if you're worried about getting your copy, you don't need to bother yourself too much. There's a lot from where that came from. So it's here. All right, so I'll be reading the forward. I'll be reading the forward of this masterpiece. Okay. In a journey of life, there are moments when we must summon the courage to confront the shadows that linger within our relationships. This book, crafted by my insightful mentee, Ifunanya, is a beacon of strength, resilience, and self-discovery for those who have found themselves entangled in toxic relationships. In these pages, you will discover poignant, beautiful narrative of different characters in toxic relationships and signs of what it looks like. It is a testament to the universal struggles many face when navigating the complexities of toxic relationships, be it friendships, marriage, family ties, romantic entanglement, through vulnerability and authenticity. This book becomes a guide for anyone seeking liberation from chains of toxicity. What makes this journey remarkable is the unwavering spirit to not only survive but to thrive. It's a journey that speaks to the power within each of us to break free, to heal, and to rebuild. The lessons shared here are not just for the individual seeking solace, but also for those who wish to understand, support, and uplift others in their quest for a healthier and fulfilling life. As you dive into these pages, I encourage you to approach the stories with an open heart and a compassionate spirit. You find inspiration, strength, and the knowledge that you are not alone in your pursuit of happiness and well-being. This book is a testament to the fact that no matter how deeply rooted in toxicity, there's always hope for a brighter tomorrow. It is my sincere belief that after reading this empowering work, you'll be equipped with wisdom to navigate your own path towards healing and liberation. Wishing you courage, resilience, and the transformative power of letting go. Oluwatomi Ayeni Oluwabinika, convener, the Real Deal Community, founder, the Haven, executive director at Bonnie. So that was the forward by my mentor, Mrs. Omomi Oluwabinika. So from what she said, you know that we're targeting toxic relationship in all forms. Yeah, in all forms, as God led, by special grace of God. Yeah. So table of contents, I'll be giving you some dicey table of content. So just pay attention. So acknowledgements, forward. Meet the characters. I also wanted to meet them. Let's get physical. All night I ride with you. I know you're going back, and I know I got you. So come on, come on, come on. Let's get physical. I don't know the song, but an inspiration came from that song. Anyway, pledging allegiance, royal purple and silver, a heart pill, confirmation bias, big and broken, to love and to hold, second chance, gross darkness, living, finding grace, become friends, go big or go home, epilogue, findings, author's notes, and the author guide, discussion guide, references, meet the author. So while we are about to meet the characters, which is one of my specialties, one of the dicey thing I like about this book. I would like to read The Praise for Violent Roses by a special sister of mine, Debbie Omiza. So, yeah. Coach Ife's latest book, Violent Roses, is a captivating exploration of love in all its complexities. If you yearn for authentic connections free from manipulation, this book is for you. Violent Roses masterfully blends timeless wisdom with contemporary research, providing practical tools for navigating the emotional landscape of love. The lessons are not just biblical, they are scientifically backed. Prepare to be captivated by violent choices, insightful prose, and relatable characters. It's a story that will stay long with you after you I was like, I'm so folks. You let me hear blank. Okay, moving on, let's meet characters. Aduni, a customer care representative for United Nigerian Airlines, wife to Eric, co-pastor at Triumph with Christ Ministry, senior pastor at Triumph with Christ Ministry. Let's meet Eric, senior pastor at Triumph with Christ Ministry, husband to Aduni. Let's meet Chelsea, former TV host and radio presenter, wife to Justin, mother of one. Let's meet Justin, businessman, co-pastor at Triumph with Christ Ministry, husband to Chelsea, father of one. Let's meet Ruth, real estate manager, wife to Luke. Let's meet Luke, freelance painter, color design consultant, husband to Ruth. Let's meet Blessing, serial entrepreneur and investor, sister to Justin, sister-in-law to Chelsea, Lawrence fiancé. Let's meet Lawrence, finance educator, Blessing's fiancé. You guys, I'm super excited for this one. So let's get into it. Chapter 1. Let's get physical. Adoni and Eric have been married for 5 years. She doesn't understand why she has to endure this much. She doesn't understand why she had endured this much but still stays. Don't let the world know. Remember, you're a pastor's wife, her mom said to her on the phone the last time they spoke. She took a glance at the wall clock in the parlor. It was almost 5 o'clock. And her husband will soon return from church to prepare for vigil. Nothing scares her like when it was 5 o'clock. Thank God today was vigil. Today was a sacred day for him. Hey honey, she struggled to greet him cheerfully. Welcome home. She took his briefcase from him into the bedroom while he sat at the dining table. Is my food ready? He said with a groan. Yes, I'm trying to groan like him. Yes, it is. I made it just how you like it. Then serve it. Adoni quickly dashed into the kitchen. It was a fully furnished medium-sized kitchen with beautiful interiors. She dished out the pando yam with white soup. She was lucky he did not mind her preparing pando yam rather than pounded yam. If there was only good thing about him, then she counted herself lucky. Pounding yam 4 times a week would make her age faster. He might have gone, okay. She did not meet him at the dining table when she arrived. He might have gone to refresh himself. Honey, dinner is served, she said, calling his attention to the parlor. There was no response. Could he have fallen asleep? He must have had a long day. She went into the bedroom. Honey, dinner is served. Take off your clothes and lie down on the bed now. She did not understand. Today was vigil. It was usually a monster, but not on vigil days. Are you expecting me to repeat myself? No, but do not let me repeat myself, Adoni, Eric said. Hot tears steamed from her eyes. She hurriedly removed her clothes and laid on the bed. She watched as she opened his work briefcase and brought out a foreign tool. What in the Lord's name is this? It's a belt with little spikes on it. Honey, are you going to use that on me? She asked, trembling. Shut it. He brought out a lubricant. It seemed like he recently got this too. He placed the lubricant and spiked belt on the table. He got a half cup from a specialized tool lock. Turn your back to me. So, pause. I'm reading its character story, so you should know already by the dialogue. So just follow through. She quietly obeyed in fear. He cupped both her hands to the headboard of the bed. He sat down beside her and began to lubricate her back gently. Still, it will not hurt too much with this, he whispered into her ears. He rose from the bed and picked up the belt he placed on the table. Pause, you guys. Okay. Honey, please, let's talk about this. My body is already swollen from last night's beating. I'm also sore down there, please. Be quiet, Aduni. You will only make it hard for yourself. Just embrace it. He gave her a stroke. Jesus! Ah! Honey, please. Hot tears were gushing out. He gave her a harder stroke. Ah! My back. My waist. Cry, yes, shouts. That's it. With that, he took her forcefully from behind. And when he was done, he walked out, leaving her on the bed. And then he kept crying, Lord, when will this stop? You promised me a life of peace and joy, but how come you gave me a monster for a husband? Her heart was bleeding. He wore his clothes and uncuffed her. She lay there on the bed without moving. Her body was too weak, but it did not bother him. He took his Bible and headed to the dining room. She could hear him putting the plate away in the sink, in the kitchen after he was done eating. See you in church, he shouted and shut the door loudly on his way out. You guys, are you enjoying this story? If you're wondering, if you're confused, okay, to just pause at that moment. So Adoni and Eric have been married for 5 years, and Eric, my guy. Eric, as a senior pastor, although a senior pastor, is into BDSM. So he only have pleasure when he inflicts pain on his partner. Yes. So it's only when he inflicts pain on his partner that he gets pleasure during sex. Okay, moving on. And okay, just to go back, this particular scene I just read, it's just a particular time he was inflicting that pain to get pleasure. Give Jesus the highest praise, Eric shouted on the pulpit. The whole church was screaming. He is mighty. I want you to know that God has given us authority over serpents and scorpions, and they shall by no means hurt you. So take possession of all that belongs to you, Eric added. Yes, the same kind of authority he has been having over her for the past 5 years, Adoni thought to herself. She remembered their first night together. She felt it was honeymoon vibes until it persisted for 4 days in a row. She confronted him about it, and he gave her a dirty slap. You belong to me, he said. You and all of your body. She could have walked out of that marriage, but she was afraid of what will people say. Are you in Adoni's shoes? What will people say? Oh, don't kill yourself. Oh. So the thing about marriage is that everybody will leave you, and you'll be the only one to suffer. So don't fall into that. Such a hypocrite, she whispered under her. Such a hypocrite, she whispered under her breath. Ma, Pastor Chelsea, the assistant pastor wife. If you paid attention, you remember what Chelsea is. Okay, Chelsea is the assistant pastor wife to this particular church. She's like the second in command after Adoni. Nothing dear. God is such a mighty God. Adoni said, trying to cover what she said, trying to hide her feelings. Yes, ma, Pastor. Yes, ma. Pastor Dini, please, I would like to speak to you after service. Pastor Chelsea said to Adoni. Okay, I hope no problem. Not at all, ma. Okay, dear. Service was over. Many people greeted her while she prayed for a few. This is Adoni now. Service was over. Many people greeted Adoni while she prayed for a few she came across on her way to her office. Upon getting to her office, she sat down in a bit to wait for Pastor Chelsea to come. She remembered the first time she saw Pastor Eric. She had been transferred from Mississippi and just moved to the area. She needed a place to worship since her church was not close to where she resided. She asked around. A lot of people directed her and gave her flyers to the churches, but no one caught her attention like the one she saw on the billboard. Hey God! He was so glorious in her sight. She felt like the spirit was calling to her. She took down the address and attended the next Sunday. His message was powerful. Glory, brethren. She browsed the song he sang during the message and sang it all week. The next Sunday, after that, she joined the ushering unit. Action lady. Her job as a customer relations manager at United Nigerian Airlines was always an advantage to her. Excuse me. Sister Aduni heard a voice call her. She was adding up the number of people who came to church for both services. Pastor Eric would like to speak to you, Brother Siri, the ushering team head, said. Me? Is anything the matter? No, none that I know of. Okay. She quickly went to the lady's room and ensured she was still looking good before going to his office. Sharp girl. She wondered why he wanted to see her, but came with no definite one. I guess I'll have to say for myself then, she said, and walked straight to his office and knocked on his door. Come in, Pastor Eric said. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Sister Aduni. Please have your seat. I noticed you newly joined us here at Triumph with Christ Ministry. Brother Siri told me that you've been a great help to the departments with your contributions and diligence. God bless you. Is there any favor you would like to ask the Lord? I would love to join my faith with yours and pray alongside you. The shepherd must look after the sheep and pray to God to answer the desires of their hearts. If you are if you are in these shoes and waiting for your pastor to pray for you, please, I'm here to announce to you that you have been given access to God to pray for yourself. When Jesus said it is finished, the curtain is torn. Therefore, you have every access to this God that we are serving. You don't need a moderator. You don't need a middleman to get you to God. But let's go on. As she reminisced on the response she gave to him, she was brought back to the present by Pastor Chelsea. Chelsea's knock as she walked into her office. Good afternoon, Mommy. I'm sorry I kept you waiting. Grace, my daughter, was craving my attention to so many things. It's all good. I hope she's fine now. Yes, ma'am. Pastor Chelsea heaved a deep breath. Pastor Duni, I feel invincible. What do you mean? Aduni asked in curiosity. I don't feel loved in my home. Let me ask you a question. Have you ever heard my voice in church before? Adoni was stunned by a question, but when she thought of the answer, indeed, she had never heard Chelsea speak, aside from when she introduced herself, as much as when she was introduced to her, or when she greeted her. Today was the first time she really heard a sentence. Adoni shook her head. No, I haven't heard. You see? And do you know why it is that way? It is like that because my husband has banned me from speaking. Adoni was speechless. She had always thought Chelsea was an introvert who was forced to pick up the calling of a pastor because of her husband. But the woman she saw in front of her was a powerful woman, powerful and outspoken. How long have you both been married? Pastor Adoni asked. 3 years, ma'am. Have you spoken to him about it? Yes, ma'am. Times without number. Recently, the energy he gives whenever I speak drains my spirit. He gives me silent treatments that boosts my soul. If we should continue this way, my daughter will grow to learn that her mother has no say in her home. She will have the mentality that women are made for the kitchen and other rooms. It can cultivate low self-esteem in her. Pastor Adoni, I want a divorce. What? Adoni exclaimed. Yes, ma'am. But God hates divorce. Adoni responded in curiosity. God hates divorce, but not at the expense of my happiness and freedom. Not at the expense of the gifts he has given to me for a purpose. And not at the expense of his glory to be shown on all the earth through my life. He struck a chord on Adoni. Was God trying to send a message to her? Pastor Adoni, let me get back to my husband. He will soon search for me. And your office isn't the best place for him to find me. He could get the message. Okay, dear. Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for listening. We will continue discussion once I have the opportunity again. Pastor Chelsea stood up and left. Adoni felt a cold disquiet in her spirit. Are you enjoying this? We're still in chapter 1, guys. Hopefully we could get to chapter 3. Who knows? Who knows? People should ask God for grace, for strength. Thank God. Okay, moving on. How was service today? Eric asked as he and Adoni walked into the house. They didn't say a word to each other in the car on their way back from church. Good, we bless God. Good? Just good? Eric asked, displeased. Yes, she rolled her eyes. She turned towards the direction of the bedroom. What a monster. Why is he acting like the Spirit of God lives inside of him? Could what Chelsea has said be true? Is divorce an option in Christian marriages? She asked herself as she walked towards the bedroom. Anyway, Eric said, I underwent a lot of stress today. I need to recuperate. Undress yourself when you get to the bedroom. Adoni signed. They lived in a duplex out on the outskirts of town, and the house was 200 kilometers away from town. She figured out their room was soundproof the day they returned from their honeymoon. She screamed, but no one came to her aid. It seemed like he prepared for this way before they got married. How could she have been so stupid to not have read between the lines of it fake answer from God? 5 years ago, when he asked her what she desired from God, she told him that she wanted God to give her a husband. He called her to his office 2 weeks later. Eric. To let her tell her that God said she was the one for him. God said she was the one for him. Are you people seeing this? God did not even tell her that Pastor Eric is the one for you. Say God, oh my God, some people. She could have given it more thought, at least hear from God directly. But she took his word for it. She was overwhelmed with joy and felt to confirm the reason his picture was calling to her from the billboard. Oh my God. Adoni. Chapter 2, guys. Pledging agents. Good news, dear. Chelsea said that she joined her husband Justin in the living room to watch his favorite Sunday show. So each chapter is actually about a character. It's different characters. So, but if you follow if you read listing, you'll be able to get the flow. So, pledging allegiance. This is Chelsea's chapter. Chelsea's point of view. Good news, dear. Chelsea said that she joined her husband Justin in the living room to watch his favorite Sunday show. What, dear? He responded with a smile on his face. Remember Valentina, the one that wore a golden dress at a white teen wedding? Yeah, I do. Okay. We reconnected via LinkedIn, and she invited me to speak on the parent and teen show she hosts. Given my experience as a professional in the field of sociology, she thought it would be a great opportunity for mothers struggling to understand their teenage children to learn how to relate and understand them better. Are you going? Is it great? Are you going? Isn't it great? They asked simultaneously. Of course, I'm going, babe. What do you mean by you are going? Justin exclaimed. I don't wanted to hang there. You know how much I hate all this public speaking or said empowerment things for women. They fill women's mind with unsubmissive thoughts. Before you know it, you begin to have opinions over things that weren't giving us issues before. Please, this is the last time I will hear of something like this in this house. Chelsea, reaching the peak of her frustration, imagine all sorts of things. From hitting his head with the dining table, to poisoning him, or hanging him, or giving him a quick death in his sleep with a pillow. Oh Lord, help my heart. These are not the thoughts of a Christian. But I think I've gotten to the limits, she said within herself. Remember, Chelsea was the one who met Adoni, Pastor Adoni, in the first chapter, saying that she might ask for a divorce. Whew. Adoni quietly stood up and went into the bedroom. They didn't speak to each other for the next 2 days. But when she thought that was the height of it, she got another shock. Is this a joke? What is the meaning of this? She asked Justin as he handed a booklet to her. It's me being a thoughtful husband, Chelsea. I figured you had a lot of time to spare for a talk show, so I enrolled you in a school for submissive wives. Hey, yes, I know what the school says. My question is, why did you enroll me in it? Chelsea, I'm not saying that you are not a good wife. I just thought it would be nice for me to do something good for you by enrolling you into a school that will teach you more about how to be the best wife and mother. Hey God, so you are saying I'm not submissive? Well, seeing that you mentioned that talk show, knowing fully well about how I feel concerning things like that, it's just there are still some crumbs left on the submission table. You are to submit even your thoughts to me, you know. Justin. How many times did I call you? 3 times, my dear. This isn't funny. Do I look like a fool to you? You are never a fool, my ladies. Don't fall for this. You're never a fool, my love. It's just me being the best husband to you. You should thank me, you know. He said with a smirk on his face. Never in her life did she think a day like this would come. Hey, she married an inconsiderate, manipulative, egoistic, and evil man. Where did she go wrong? Chelsea couldn't sleep at night. She remembered how she got invited to different high-value events as a host. She remembered the glamour and sense of fulfillment she felt after each event. Now she was stuck with a daughter and a selfish man who couldn't even recognize herself. She clinches anytime she sees other women on social media living their best life, having the marriage of their dreams and still enjoying flourishing careers. Justin, she tapped her husband. He yawned slowly. Yes, babe. This was nice. I want a divorce, she said without regret. There was dead silence in the room. Justin, did you hear me? She asked. I'm not so sure I get what you are saying, babe. Justin replied, sitting up. You get it, Justin. I want a divorce, she said and walked out of the room. He followed her. Babe, did you hear yourself? Divorce? How? What did I do? What will we tell the church? Jesus. You will tell the church that you turned this marriage into a prison for me. You will tell them that since we got married, my career and self-development came to a halt because you are afraid of my voice being heard. I doubt that is even the reason. I think you are just afraid I'll become so empowered and might do without you that you are just using me to boost your fragile ego, she said. Yes, Alani. Yes, come for a divorce. Justin, she continued, last month was International Men's Conference in church. I joined you to prepare for it, didn't I? She asked. Yes, you did. 2 months ago, you were invited as a guest minister at Divine Intervention Church. I went with you, didn't I? Yes, you did. There are 12 months in a year, and at least twice every month, I join you to attend every event you're invited to as a wife, don't I? You do. So what is the problem, Justin? I keep showing up for you. Why can't you show up in my life and support me? But I'm supporting you by helping you being the best wife Apostle Paul said you should be. Submissive and silent. No. He never said it in that way. Chelsea countered. Yes, he did. He shouted. Chelsea, you also knew this when you signed up. You also knew this was what you signed up for. So why the sudden change? His stone came down as he reached out to hold her hand. I never signed any agreement of such, Justin. The day you said I did, you pledged allegiance to me. Allegiance. Is this a kingdom? Do I look like a knight? Chelsea asked. I'm even wondering, please. Justin should tell us when he started putting helmet on his wife so that we'll know what's going on. You can call it what you want to call it. But that is what it is. During one of our dates, you asked me what kind of pastor's wife I think you'd be, and I told you the silent one. I asked if you understood, and you said yes. Ladies, pause. Please pay attention. This is what I'm going through this week. Please pay attention. When somebody is talking to you, open your mouth, open your ear, and hear what the Spirit is saying to you. Open your ear. Okay. I never knew you meant silence literally. I thought it was an acronym or something. Well, now you know. You could have asked for clarity, because you see, this marriage, we are going nowhere. We are in it forever. I don't even know why I followed you out here. When you are done with your overbearing and selfish attitude, you will come to bed. I'm pretty sure that foolish friend of yours that you connected with is putting all this rubbish in your head. Turned to leave, but saw Grace crying at the entrance of the parlor. Chelsea quickly ran to her. Why are you both fighting, Mom? Why are you both fighting, Mom? She asked suddenly. Sorry, sweetie, we are not fighting. We are just discussing, that's all, she said, and hugged her, wiping her tears. Chelsea was heartbroken. This wasn't the kind of thing she wanted her daughter to witness. Justin walked into the bedroom without remorse. Guys, are you enjoying this so far? I think I am. Not I think I am. I literally am. Okay. So just pause. There's some discussion guide I just want us to just go through. So if you're following through from chapter 1, what do you think about what Chelsea said to Aduni concerning divorce? You think divorce is an option in marriage? You think so? In Christian marriages especially. So I would like to know your thoughts. You can put it in the comment section. Okay. Another question. Aduni didn't pray to hear from God after Eric told her that God said he was the one for her. Has there been any crucial decision you have taken without the consent of God? What was the repercussions? In chapter 2, Justin believed Chelsea agreed to be a silent wife because she never objected to it when he mentioned it during their courting phase. Do you agree with him? Have there been situations where you kept quiet and didn't object for peace to reign? What was the result of it? What was the result, guys? Okay, so moving ahead, chapter 3. Royal Purple and Silver. Just a little hint. This is another character story. This is another character coming in. So we'll be introducing each character as it goes by. Today's character is about Blessing. Okay? So if you can remember, Blessing is a serial entrepreneur, investor, sister to Justin, sister-in-law to Chelsea, Lauren's fiancé. Royal Purple and Silver. And back to Nigerian girls, we have a wedding to prepare. Blessing welcomed her friends, Bimbo and Cynthia, to her 3-bedroom furnished apartment seated in the heart of Lekki. Flaunting the engagement ring that Lawrence gave. The engagement ring Lawrence gave to her before she went on a business trip to the United Kingdom. So Blessing is a serial entrepreneur. She's a business-minded person. She makes her own money. Okay? Yes, so finally, let me start to prepare for Friends of the Bride dance, Cynthia said. I know, right? Make them do if it's easy. Bimbo added. They all laughed. What of your brother? What is he saying about the wedding? Cynthia asked. That one. Someone who told me that hope I am informed that all this money that I'm making belongs to my husband wants to get married. That guy has always been a bitter person since we were young. I don't know how he managed to hit the jackpot like his wife Chelsea. Do you know he stopped her from working? In the name of being being the head and knowing what is best for his family. See, I can tell you, it's my full chest, that he's just jealous that she will aim more than him. And people will begin to see her as a celebrity in church. Wow. God should help us. So Bimbo exclaimed. I tell you, that's why I'm very grateful for Lawrence. He doesn't see my success as a threat. He hardly inquires about the state of my finances. Isn't that a red flag? Bimbo said. What do you mean? Blessing asked, curious. I mean, I get him not asking about your finances, but I don't get him not asking how the wedding preparations process is going. Like the budget, what is he bringing to the table? Bimbo asked in curiosity. Cynthia pinched her. What, Cynthia? Let's call a spade, she said. I find it suspicious. It's like she's marrying herself. That's enough, Bimbo, Cynthia rebuked her. Blessing, what we are saying is, carry Lawrence along in the wedding preparations. It's not enough that he proposed 2 months ago. He should also foot some bills. We know you earn more than him, but that's not an excuse. Blessing muttered. She was born from wealth, so money had never been an issue for her or her brother Justin. That was one of the reasons he asked his wife to quit her job. Cover every expense in his home. Let's go back. Sorry for the interruption, guys. Blessing muttered. She was born from wealth, so money had never been an issue for her or her brother Justin. That's one of the reasons he asked his wife to quit her job. He could single-handedly cover every expense in his home. She knew Lawrence was doing well for himself as a finance educator. However, she had never seen it in the light that Bimbo and Cynthia were coming from. She never saw it as a problem to lead financially. When is the wedding date? Cynthia asked. 15th of September. Good. You have a month to go. Reach out to him to be involved in the expenses. Bimbo and Cynthia left about 2 hours later. They had decided on the color for the day: royal purple and silver. The Civic Center, one of Nigeria's top event centers, known for its beautiful and fascinating structures and banqueting hall with breathtaking waterfront view, was decided as the venue for the wedding. Blessing was excited. Her dreams were coming true. An incoming call came through as she laid down, imagining how her day would be. It was Lawrence calling. An incoming call came through as she laid down, imagining how her day would be. It was Lawrence calling. Hey babe, she picked up. Hey love, how are you doing? I'm doing okay, she said in a sweet bedroom voice. As usual, I don't know if your line of work is different from all of us in Nigeria, Lawrence said. They both laughed. How's the wedding preparation going? He asked. It's going well. We've decided on the color of the day: royal purple and silver. Wow, I love that. Same here. We'll be using the monarch. We'll be using the Civic Center. I've reached out to the cake vendor. She said the bill is 80,000 naira. What do you think? I think it's a fair price. Dollar isn't favorable now, so it's okay. Okay, babe. I'll send the account number to you. Send the account number to me. Lawrence asked, surprised. Yes, babe. I already have a lot on my table. I'm footing the decorations, my wedding dress, the wedding hall, and so on. It's only fair you pay for the cake. Don't you think so? That's fine, babe. Send her account number. Adeni smiled. She was going to prove to Bimbo and Cynthia that there was no red flag about him. Are you guys getting this juice? So what do you think is going on in Blessing's head at this moment? So her besties have given her advised that Lawrence should also foot part of the bills for the wedding. So Lawrence and Blessing are engaged to be married in a few months' time, and they are preparing it. Chapter 4. We'll probably start at chapter 4, so that's as every other day. Chapter 4, a hard pill. As every other day, Aduni got early to prepare breakfast and lunch before leaving. Sorry, just 1 minute, guys. Before leaving for work. Working as a customer service manager and being a wife, most especially a pastor's wife, can be a lot. She had to leave work early for weekly meetings, prepare messages, cook, and take care of herself too. She had a knock on the door. Who could it be this early morning? She thought to herself. Who is there? She asked. Don't you think only those who have given birth have the right to raise their voice in their husband's house? The person said. She already knew it where it was. She opened the door. Mama, good morning, ma. What is good about the morning? Where is Eric? So somebody just landed into Eric and Aduni home. If you are following, Eric and Aduni are the lead pastors of Royal with Christ Ministry. They were married for 5 years with a child. He's upstairs, ma. Let me help you with your bag. Hey! Don't touch my bag before you transfer your barrenness to everything around me. Just go and fetch my son for me. Aduni shook her head in pain. She went into their bedroom upstairs to call her husband. Eric, your mom is around. You didn't tell me she was coming. Do our parents now need permission to visit me? They can come whenever they want to. He closed his work laptop and stepped out of the room. She didn't follow him out. She wasn't ready to receive more insults from his mom. But of course, even the distance couldn't stop her from talking. I wonder when we will see a child crawl around this house. So she heard his mom scream from downstairs. Aduni prepared for work and left after serving Eric and his mom breakfast. She didn't have any, as she only prepared a small portion for herself and Eric before his mom came. Upon her return from work, she met his mom in the living room watching Telemundo. Good evening, ma, she greeted in the Yoruba style of greeting. This is just me adding that. Mama gave no response. Mama, I'm great. Hey, empty barrel. It is not by force to accept your greeting. Mama interrupted as she turned to face Aduni. Mama, please, the fact that I've been keeping quiet doesn't make me a fool. Your son is the problem. He has always been the problem these 5 years. Aduni spoke up. She had had enough of this. Like, what is all this, Dave? Me, I'm in support of her. I don't know about you guys. Okay, shut up. Who are you to say a word when I'm still talking? Oh, because you're a pastor's wife now, you feel you can now open your mouth anytime to speak. My son made a big mistake marrying you. Ha, Mama said. Marrying your delusional son was the worst mistake of my life. Hey God, it's getting hot. What? What, mommy? I only repeated what you said. Why do you feel hot? Women are always dishing out what they cannot accept. Mommy, when you're ready to go back to wherever you came from, kindly tell me. Of course, it's always a pleasure to foot your bills. Fake son, fake mother. She hissed and began to walk up the stairs. I won't tolerate these insults, Mama said. Aduni, you. Just wait until my son gets back. Orimiyo. Picking where they old enough to give birth to. Yeah, Ebamiyo. Eric, see waiting you marry. She continues to lament. Go ask your precious son, how many children don't wipe come out from my womb? Aduni paused and turned to face Mama. Hey, if only she knew how many fetuses her son had made her lose, all because of his evil sexual appetite. Mama was taken aback by her words. What did you say? Mama, how can I give birth when your son keeps flogging the seed out of me? He beats you? Mama asked in shock and disbelief. Aduni said nothing. She kept walking upstairs. Adunia, I'm asking you a question. Mama, please go and ask your son about it. Not be from my mouth, them go say picking shit, mama fly. Meaning, it won't be from her mouth anyone would hear such an abominable story. Adoni headed straight to her room, leaving Mama in a world of guesses. I don't know how this story is going, you guys. Okay, so Mama returned to her home the next day. Adoni knew there was fire on the mountain, but she couldn't care less. She went about her day like nothing had happened the previous day. After all, Mama needed to know the truth about her so-called angelic son. She went to work, stopped to get some groceries after work, and as soon as her feet touched down at home, she headed straight to the kitchen. She was famished. She placed the groceries she had got on the counter and took out the bowl of fried rice she had made from the fridge. She placed it in the microwave. God bless the makers of the microwave, she whispered. Her mind drifted to how Mama had welcomed her into their home when she was introduced to her. How she danced, saying she was a gift to their family. Now, the same woman called her all sorts of names. She shook her head in disbelief. People change, or should she say, you never know the hearts of men. So, sorry guys, but my throat is getting itchy. I think I've been talking for almost an hour, so. She was brought back. Adoni was brought back to the present by a loud sound of the microwave, indicating that the food was ready. She brought it out, dished it neatly onto a flat surface plate, and carried it to their bedroom upstairs. She loved the fact that the kitchen was downstairs, which made it easier to access the dining table. So if you're following, it's like a duplex. The kitchen is downstairs, but the bedroom is upstairs. The kitchen and the parlor is the living room is downstairs, and you get. I want you to imagine it. Thank you, Comfort. Thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying the story. Okay. So she loved the fact that the kitchen was downstairs, which made it easier to access the dining table, but she didn't want Eric's face to be the first thing she sees while eating. It would ruin her appetite. She placed the plate of rice on the side table and sat to eat. Her phone rang. Speak of the devil. How was Mama calling her? The only time she had ever called was the day after she and Eric's wedding. To inform her that their first child had to be a male. I hope she did not forget anything. Adoni muttered and picked up the phone. Good afternoon, ma, she said. Now listen. This thing I'm about to tell you, no other ear must hear about it. No mouth speak about it. Ha! What is this woman saying? Please, I want you to picture this in a Nigerian way. If you see me being dramatic like this, I'm actually trying to be dramatic like Nigerians, right? What is this woman saying now? And then he thought to herself, I'm listening, Mama, she responded. Good. After I married Eric's father, I found out he was more than what he was outside. He beat me in the name of having sex and keeping our sex life fun. I ended up having about 5 miscarriages because of him. One of the pregnancies eventually got to stay, but when I was 9 months pregnant, Eric's father came home drunk and insisted we must have sex that night. I was heavy and tired, so I refused. He became violent. She continued. He pulled his belt and began to flog me with it. I shouted, pleaded, but it was to no avail. During the flog and struggle, he hit my tummy and I fainted. I didn't know what happened next, but I woke up in the hospital the next day and was told that I had lost the child. I couldn't take it. I pleaded with the nurses to help me out. I told her about my husband and all that I have been through, and she promised to help me. Okay? Adoni stalled. What was this story headed? She asked herself. To cut the long story short, Eric is not the son of his father. Yeah, Mama said. Adoni could not believe her ears. Like, this man that I'm living with is actually not the son of his mother. Okay, let's just continue. The words in her room was spinning. What was Mama saying? He just told me there was a young girl in the room next to us who was giving up her son for adoption due to financial constraints. She said she could speak to the girl and make everything legal and send her off with some money. I agreed to it, and I was desperate, so it was easier for me as Eric's father never visited me in the hospital. I was discharged alongside the young girl. We did the exchange at the nurse house discreetly. As soon as I got home with Eric, I saw the idea of us moving to a different location to Eric's dad in the name of protecting his image as someone who's beaten. This was in order for me to avoid the young lady facing me back to get her son from me. She agreed to it to avoid humiliation. The beating never stopped, but the beating never stopped until he died. However, I was comforted with Eric. I also didn't bother to have another child. Adoni, you know you're like my daughter. So when you said something about Eric beating you, I was shocked. I guess he picked it up from watching the several beatings his dad gave me, even if they are not biologically related. But Adoni, can you help me cover this shame? We can put this off again. I can't have a son without a seed. My life must continue. I want to hold my grandchildren in my hands. Nobody will know. It will just be between us. We can adopt a son and pretend that he's Eric's. Mama pleaded. Hello, are you still on the call? Adoni heard her ask. Yes, ma. I heard you, ma. Adoni replied. She had blacked out. Hey, what kind of psychotic family has she married into? She was beaten so fast. Who was she going to talk to? Her parents glorified in the fact that she married one of the top and biggest pastors in Nigeria. Would she not live a life of deceit just to satisfy her husband's mother? She thought deeply about these things. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to marry, please, like Funke Adejumo said, pray with one eye closed. Use your other eye and watch. You have seen Adoni's story. Let's just put Adoni in our prayers. Let's put her in our prayers at this point. So, discussion guide for Adoni for this particular chapter. In what way do you think Eric's father's behavior towards his mom affected him? In what ways has your parents' character influenced who you are? Are there steps you are taking to change this influence, if negative, to avoid reputation from your children? And food for thought. What do you think about Eric's mom behavior towards Eric's character? Have you ever aided and abetted a character which was against your values? What was the result of it? Because you can see here, the mother did not even confront the father her son was beating at him. She just wanted to cover up. And she believed that after all, she fought her own battles. Adoni, she fight her own battles. And I think that's the funny thing about life. Many people may see you going through a lot and will not say anything because they believe that they are not the only one that went through it. I passed through it, you too, you passed through it. But that is not the life of Christ. There's this favorite song of mine I like when I was growing up. If you see your sister falling by the road, just stop and say, you're going the wrong way. And if you see your brother standing by the road with a heavy load from a sinking soul, you've got to try a little kindness, show a little kindness, shine your light for everyone to see. And if you try a little kindness and you overlook the blindness of narrow-minded people on narrow-minded streets. I love that song so much because it teaches about kindness Just because you went through something does not mean you want another person must go through it. And that is what Eric's mother was trying to do. After all, my husband beat me, I survived. So why are you trying to make as if you are the first person that they have beat in marriage? Can you just imagine? She just wanted to move on, just to have seed. Hey God, may the Lord help us all. May the Lord indeed help us all. Okay, another discussion. Do you think Eric's mom was right about keeping Eric's origin from her husband? Have you ever been in a situation where you had to keep something from your partner? If you have, what influenced your decision? What was their reaction, or how did they handle the news when they found out laterwards? Because we can see that till Eric's father died, he never knew the secret. But some of us, be that lucky. If they may later spill out, nothing is in under the sun, right? So, moving on, chapter 5. Confirmation bias. I hope you're following, guys. I hope you are. It was Blessing's wedding day, wedding dress fitting day. So we're back to Blessing. I told you that each chapter is about someone, about a character. It was Blessing's wedding dress fitting day. She was overjoyed as her wedding day drew closer. She'll be getting married to the love of her life. She felt so blessed. She picked up her phone. She felt so blessed. She picked up her phone and placed a group call to Bimbo and Cynthia, her besties. Babes, I hope you've not forgotten today, she jokingly warned. How can we? Cynthia responded. Yes, babe, we can't. When you're the first person to get married in our gang, it's an abomination to forget, Bimbo added, and they all chuckled. I'm glad you're being blessed. Comfort. Glad you're following too. Okay, girls, see you at 10 a.m. Blessing had chosen Styled by Taylor wedding boutique. They were known for excellent detailed fantasy wedding dresses. Bella Naija would not hesitate to feature it on their blog. She was bringing her A game to this wedding. Go big or go home, go full. he's a going big something. The Civic Center was already booked. She had also bought tickets for their honeymoon to Paris. This babe. Everything was going as she wanted. She left home early as she didn't want to miss her appointment at the boutique. Bimbo and Cynthia joined her a few minutes later. They were so excited for her. Blessing, do you remember when you said you were never going to fall in love again after your ex, Dari, got your colleague pregnant? Cynthia asked. I will never fall in love again. If I ever fall in love again, beat me. Bimbo mimicked. That means you're owing us. That means you owe us a good beating for going against your word. Yes. Men are evil. God should just give us our own word and throw them away. Cynthia mimicked again. For someone who doesn't like going to church, I was surprised she was bringing God into the situation. They all laughed. Blessing went about trying on the dresses she had selected. Bimbo and Cynthia hyped her all the way. It was so much fun. Blessing, I think you have an incoming call. Bimbo called out to Blessing. She was in the dresser with Cynthia, who was helping her with the fitting. It's from Lawrence, she added. Okay, please pick it up and put it in speaker mode. He probably wants to know how the wedding fitting is going. Bimbo picked up the call and brought it to her. Hey babe, Blessing greeted. Love in Tokyo. Hey bride, how is it going? Lawrence asked. Progress, babe. I'm here to find a befitting dress for the queen that I am though. Don't worry. I'm sure you'll find it. I'm sure you will. Yeah, that reminds me. I reached out to the cake vendor about the progress of the cake. She said she was ready to receive a payment from you. Yes, babe. That's what I called to tell you. I'm having issues with my bank account. And I don't know what's wrong. I've reached out to customer service, but they are yet to resolve the profile issue. Please, can you help pay for it? Hey God, I will give it back to you once I have the access to my account again. I'll be going to the bank this week. Just so you know, Blessing has been the one sponsoring everything concerning this wedding. Just the one thing they told this boss to do. The boss is telling us his account have been blocked. or what? And anyway, let me not spoil the story for you. People and Cynthia exchange gazes. It shocked you to comfort. My God. Blessing was disappointed. This was her time to shine and prove to Bimbi and Cynthia that he was perfect. So Bimbi and Cynthia had actually told her that something is fishy concerning this guy, about him not asking anything. He just waiting for the D-Day to marry. In this case, I'm even feeling like he's the bride, because he just there waiting for the D-Day to just come with suits. Hey God, I beg go. We're gonna allow us to rubbish. Okay. She said faintly. Bimbo disconnected the call. Very comfort. You're making me laugh here. She opened her mouth to speak, but Cynthia gave her the not now look. She heaved a deep breath and stepped out of the dresser, leaving Blessing and Cynthia alone. Blessing, Cynthia began. I hate to break it to you, but Lawrence is playing you. He's deceiving you. He works with a wealth advisory firm, so how can he have problems with his account? It's not connecting, Abby. Look at this. I'm going to ask you this question, and I need you to give me honest answers. Aside from the proposal dates, have you guys ever been on a date that you fully sponsored? Blessing didn't respond. What of gifts? What has he gotten you before? Blessing still did not respond. Bless, you need to back out from this marriage. It's not too late. Back out. Cynthia, back out where? I love this guy. Do you love him, or do you love the idea of not being single and love the attention he gives to you? I don't know, Cynthia. I don't know. Oh God, not again. This isn't true. I can't go through this again. No. Lawrence is not a bad person. Maybe we're just overthinking it. Yes, overthinking it. Blessing. Cynthia shouted. No, Cynthia, this is the last time you or Bimbo will speak of this again. I'm getting married. Let's get my dress and go home. We have a big day ahead of us. Hey, you guys, someone should, let's put Blessing too in our prayer points. Wherever you are, let's raise our sister Blessing into God's hand. At this point, she's about to it's way. It is way. So I'm about to introduce a new character. A new character from the guy's perspective. It's called Luke. So if you're following from the beginning, so Luke is a freelance painter, a color design consultant, husband to Ruth. Ruth is a real estate manager. She's married to Luke. Okay. Chapter 5, confirmation bias. Okay, no. Chapter 6, big and broken. Let's not go back. Big and broken. Do you have the biggest size of the Barbie doll house? Look, asked the receptionist. No, sir, it's sold out. Only the medium size is available. Okay, let me have it. Luke and his wife Ruth were 1 year into their marriage. They were neighbors of Justin and Chelsea. Before Justin decided he wanted to raise their daughter in a new environment, and they moved to a new home on the island. The housewarming party for the new house was today, but he had forgotten to get them a gift the previous day. He purchased the medium-sized dollhouse and building blocks as a gift for their daughter, alongside some bottles of wine, and set out immediately for their place. He had told Ruth to leave without him for the occasion. He wouldn't want to delay her. Ruth was a meticulous person. Being punctual was one of her watchwords. He got to Justin and Chelsea's house about 2.5 hours later. As a resident of Lagos State, that amount of time was fair. Actually, as a resident of Lagos, I think getting to from the mainland to the island in 2 hours time is actually fair, because if not, just prepare your mind to sleep to stay in traffic. Welcome to our world. Uncle Luke! Grace ran towards Luke as she sighted him. She hugged him and he picked her up and carried her. My big little damsel, how are you doing? Fine, uncle, but you no longer ask after me. It's not fair. Forgive me, my princess. I will secure all the questions for today when I get to see you. Grace said, placing her hands on her mouth. Yes, my princess, Luke responded. He loved Grace like his own. He and Ruth were still trusting God for a child of their own. So I got this for you, he added, and handed over the building blocks and Barbie doll house he got her. Wow, Uncle Luke, thank you, Grace exclaimed, giving him a tight hug on his neck. I'm glad you like it. Why don't you go show Mommy why I meet up with your dad? He said, dropping her slowly to the ground. Okay, Mommy, Grace shouted, jumping in celebration as she went inside. Luke followed her in. He showed the gift. She showed the gift to her dad, who was in the living room, and hurried away to show her mom, who probably was in the kitchen. Luke approached Justin. He was welcoming some of the guests. Congratulations, bossman. Let's imagine, guys. Congratulations, bossman. Luke hailed Justin with a handshake and handed over the bottles of wine to him. I've told you this your bossman makes me feel less pastoral. If you can remember who Justin is, remember? Were you following the story? Do I need to say it again? Were you following the story? Hello, Pastor Bossman. They both laugh. Better carry that your mainland spirit back to where it came from. In this is the island, and when you're on the island, you act like islanders. Oh Lord. Luke burst into laughter. He had always loved this side of Justin. So what we think of it, Justin is not totally a bad person. It's probably orientation that make him act like that towards Chelsea. Don't you think? Because this particular side shows a different side of him. Oh, I don't know. Let's just read. Meanwhile, I'm surprised you got here before your wife Justin said. She texted me that she was still on her way and you both couldn't come together due to your different schedules. Yeah, Luke answered, but he knew that wasn't true. He knew the main reason she was late. He had earlier called her to tell her that he was done buying the gift for Justin's housewarming party, so they could go together, but she insisted that he went ahead of her, and he knew why. His body size irritated her, so she never liked to be seen in public with him. They never arrived and leave occasions together. She always insisted on arriving before him or he before her. Same thing for departure. Ruth arrived a few moments later. It was easy for her to locate the place because they had been here a few times to join Justin and Chelsea in prayer during the house building process. Hey baby, Ruth greeted her husband with a warm hug. Welcome, sweet. Don't worry. I'm feeling for Luke. Don't worry, if you're a plus size here, I'm sure you'll be able to feel the same thing that Luke is actually feeling. Welcome home, welcome, sweet. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Welcome, sweet. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. Big woman, welcome. Justin greeted. Thank you and congratulations, Pastor Bossman. I see your husband has influenced you. What can I say? Ruth said. Two become one. They all laughed. Where's my friend, by the way? Ruth asked. She should be in the kitchen or probably helping Grace out with the toys. Good luck. Look, got her. Justin responded. Okay, let me go join. Oh, there she is. Landlady rests the power of two, Ruth said, stretching her hands to receive Chelsea as she walked into the parlor. So, Justin and... I'm trying to catch my breath. I've been reading for a while. So Justin and Chelsea left Ireland and relocated to the left mainland and relocated to the island now. So this is their second house. So they own their house. Like Lawrence is born from wealth, so money isn't an issue for him. Madam, you are late. Chelsea said, I know. I'm so sorry. One of my clients insisted on going to see one of the houses I had pitched to him earlier. I know bills won't pay themselves. I know. Chelsea chuckled. Let's begin with some games then. They played different choice games like charade, bottle flip, tissue paper game, egg and spoon race, and finally decided to play the husband carrying wife game. Aww. I disagree with that game, Ruth said. What if I fall? Don't worry, you won't. You're in safe arms, Ruth said. You see? Ruth, you've got nothing to worry about. Look, I've got you covered, Chelsea said. How will we win though? Ruth asked. Luke hasn't finished carrying himself, let alone carrying me. It will just be like an elephant is stomping on the ground during the race. Everyone was quiet. Chelsea gave Ruth an eye that she said something out of line, but Ruth paid no attention to it. Don't worry, it's nothing. At least when the ground shakes, everyone would lose balance and I'll win the game, Ruth said, trying to release the tension in the air. Everyone laughed. They played another game afterwards. Everyone enjoyed themselves. Luke left the housewarming party before Ruth. He didn't want to be seen with her. He might have covered up her statement at the party, but it struck the chord in him. He didn't go home immediately. He wasn't a fan of alcohol, so he drove to the Eleguchi beach to cool off. He spent about 2 hours there and decided to head home. As usual, Lagos traffic did their work, but rather than complain, he was glad. He'd rather be stuck in traffic than stuck in the same house as Ruth. Upon getting home, he said no word to her. Welcome, babe, Ruth greeted. Thank you, he responded. You're home late. Yes, I am. Care to explain? She asked. He said nothing. This is what you do. You go out and come home when you like. No explanation whatsoever. Sometimes I wonder why you married me if you can't give me simple information like where you are going to, she said angrily. Luke was quiet. It was how she didn't see any of her mistakes, but always pointed out every one of his that always baffled him. He had always ignored her sarcastic remarks, but she never seemed to be bothered that they were hurting him. He walked out on her and entered their bedroom to have his bathe. Entered their bedroom and went straight to bed. So guys, this was the chapter about Luke, introducing Luke. And you can see from it that he's a plus size and he's being demeaned by words from his wife. So it's about him. So we'll have to pause this. If you want to get the book, if you want to read of the story, you can get a copy of yours. You can order it. But while we are still on that, let's read the discussion guide for this particular chapter. Luke didn't share his fears and shortcomings with his wife, Ruth. Have you ever been in a situation where something was kept from you? How did you feel after finding out about it? Did you handle the situations and troubles shared with you well? If you don't, in what way? If you don't, do you handle situations and troubles shared with you well? If you don't, in what way do you think you can improve to be a better confidant? Another question, another food for thought. What do you think about sarcasm? Do you feel Ruth's sarcastic remarks influence Luke's action of keeping things to himself? What's your thought about it? So while we are still on the book, there are several findings that I would love to share before we continue. Dr. Lillian Glass, a California-based communication and psychology expert, who says she coined the term in her 1995 book Toxic People, defines a toxic relationship as any relationship between two people who don't support each other, where there's conflict and one seeks to undermine the other where there's competition, where there's disrespect and lack of cohesiveness. Some of us are unaware that we're in toxic relationship, and there are various signs and indicators of toxic relationships. The first and simplest is persistent unhappiness. Glass says. So if you notice, some of these characters were going through persistent happiness, but they still did not know. So if you read through, you should start feeling that if you're having persistent unhappiness, something is wrong somewhere. You need to dig deep. If a relationship stops bringing joy and instead consistently makes you feel sad, angry, anxious, resigned, like you are sold out, maybe it's toxic. Glass says. You may also find yourself envious of happy couples. Dr. Christine Fowler, a California-based family medicine physician who specializes in mental health, says negative shifts in your mental health, personality, and self-esteem are all red flags. I hope we are taking notice of this too. These changes could range from clinically diagnosable conditions such as depression, anxiety, eating disorders, to constantly feeling nervous or uncomfortable, especially around your partner. Feeling like you cannot talk with or voice concerns to your significant other is another sign that something is amiss. I've told you guys. To make it easier, let me spell out the signs of toxic relationship. Lack of support, toxic communications, envy or jealousy, controlling behavior, resentment, dishonesty, patterns of disrespect, negative financial behaviors, constant stress, ignore your needs, lost relationship, lack of self-care. Lost relationship means when you start dating them, you lost relationship with other people. You're not allowed. Like the way our brother, Pastor Justin, does not want his wife Chelsea to communicate with her friend. If you are constantly open for change, every time tomorrow will be a better day. One day you will make them. Sorry. You always that's your logo. Something's wrong somewhere, my brother and my sister. Lack of self-care. Suddenly you're looking like a shadow of yourself. You're looking, your yesterday was better than your today. And your relationship. Like why? If you're feeling, like I said, resentment, if you're already having so much resentment, you need to take deep. You need to look deep into this. So like earlier said, we shared that we talked about Pastor so many characters at this moment. Pastor Eric. So he normally gets pleasure from when he sees his partner in pain during sex. That is the only way sex satisfies him. There's no other thing he wants to do. So in this category, I'm just going to mention the full meaning of BDSM, so you know what he's actually doing. What I need to just spell this out. Toxic relationship involves harmful behaviors by one or both partners, causing emotional harm such as criticism, belittling. And now I want to show you the difference between toxic relationship and abusive relationship. So an abusive relationship is toxic, but not all toxic relationship is abusive. Like, did you get that? Okay, let me just read. Toxic relationship involves harmful behavior by one or both partners, causing emotional harm such as criticism, belittling, manipulation, and control. While toxicity can be found in every relationship, toxic relationships do not necessarily involve physical abuse or violence. They can say things, gaslight, but won't lay hand on you. That's toxic people. Abusive relationship, on the other hand, involves one partner using physical, emotional, and sexual abuse to control or harm the other. The abuse can take various forms such as physical violence, sexual assault, emotional abuse, financial controls. Victims often feel powerless, isolated, and trapped, fearing retaliation and further harm. An example of abusive relationship is the involvement of BDSM. So the full meaning of BDSM is bondage, dominance, sadism, masochism. BDSM is a term used to describe sex that involves dominance, submission, and control. This practice typically involves one partner taking on a more dominant role during sex, while the other is more submissive. Some light BDSM practices may be good starting point for beginners. This can include hair pulling. God. Let me not talk. I don't want to ask why some people ask can't say, but if you be the reason. Handcuff, scarf, tie bondage, blindfolds, light spanking, role playing. So BDSM categories. Bondage. This involves limiting a partner's freedom of movement. For example, ropes, handcuff, and restraint. Discipline. Through agreed upon rules and punishments, a dominant partner can exercise control over a submissive partner. Dominance. This is showing authority over a physical partner, either during sex or outside the bedroom. Submission. A partner shows obedience to the dominant partner's actions and wishes. Sadism and masochism, or sadomasochism. This involves pleasure that a partner may feel from either inflicting pain, sadism, or receiving pain, masochism. So there are some people that they like receiving pain instead. They don't want to inflict, or you should inflict them. That's the only way that they find sexual pleasure. Oh, there's my mountain of fire spirits. Either physically or emotional. So these are the broader categories. There is no one way to practice BDSM. Different types can include power play, role playing, pain play, bondage, wax play, edging, sensory deprivation, or humiliation. Guys. So before the release of this book, I wasn't so sure I was ready to read these characters. Meanwhile, you guys, you need to read up this. But writing these characters made me to just know one thing. I cried alongside, but one thing was for sure: everybody needed to get a copy of this book. So if you're interested in knowing how Eric and Chelsea ended up, the day later get their divorce, you should get a copy of the book. If you want to know what happened to Aduni and Eric after, okay, Chelsea and Justin, whether they got their divorce, Eric and Aduni, whether how Aduni was able to, if she was able to pull through, you should get your copy. If you want to know if Blessing later married Lawrence too, you should get your copy. But one thing is for sure, you guys. If you're in a toxic relationship, now it's time to back out. Better a broken engagement than a broken marriage. I don't wish. Bible says I wish that you prosper even as your soul prosper. How can your soul prosper? How can you prosper if your soul is not prosper? If something is always dry, persistent unhappiness. God wants us to enjoy life. He came to give us life and life more abundantly. So if you're in a relationship such as that, you should decide to break up of it. Yes. So that's it for tonight, people of God. If you're interested in any winning story, you know what to do. You know it. Get a copy of your book. Get a copy of our interest. You can make order. Write the link in my pal. Yes. Oh, take it. We'll ship it to you wherever you are for you to get. Or you can get the soft copy too and read it on your system, on your phone, if that is convenient for you. So, people of God. Once again, I'm Ifunanya, is a founder, lead consultant, the Almond brand. The Almond brand is a relationship coaching brand where we foster healthy relationship, fulfilling relationship through biblical and psychological principles. So you can join us at the Almond brand. You can join our community, the Almond brand circle. Yes, we share insightful discussions, knowledge. We host monthly sessions where you can come to learn here on IG or Google Meet, wherever we meet that month. You can join us to learn more. You can meet other like-minded people like you to discuss. So you're not alone. I don't advise anybody to do this. If you're the only one giving yourself advice, there's problem. Honestly speaking. So that you hear thoughts from other people and know where you need to work on. You also have access to me to actually slide into my DM to ask questions. Isn't that nice? I believe it is. So good night, people of God. Thank you for joining this live session. Don't forget, don't worry, it's not finishing. You can get your copy. It's just 5,000 naira. You can get your copy via link in my file. So good night, people of God. Thank you for joining. God bless you. God bless you. Bye.